Hello everybody, this is SuperFang99. Before we begin, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. It really helps out the channel. It's here! Wow, so cool. So, for those who don't know, this is the, I started this channel by unboxing the Edge of the Earth campaign expansion. So, this is the first Investigator expansion that I will be unboxing for Arkham Horror the card game, the Scarlet Keys. I'm super excited. I'm going to be unboxing this, showing you everything that's inside. I'm going to go through every card, so this video might take a while, and I won't be, too detailed in my opinions with the card or what the card does, but I'll give a brief description and opinion, just as far as I know, so just from initial inspection. All right, well, if you're excited as much as I am, let's get going. Okay, let's do this. So let's go right here. And here we go. I am super excited. There's been, obviously, preview season for Arkham Horror the card game has been so much fun. Lots of cards previewed in advance. So I'm super excited to take a look at all of the cards. Now, I will say, I technically know what all of the cards in this expansion are just because of, people's scans and some early leaks, if you will. But I haven't really fully read some of the cards, specifically ones that haven't been officially previewed. So I'm excited to check those out. This thing is a little stuck in here. Okay. And this is just the inserts. And then here's a regular rule page. And of course we have our Investigator mini cards. Okay. Well, I just noticed. So, I know they used to do this. I don't know if they do this anymore. There's no QR code anymore. Maybe because of leaks or something like that. But yeah, I know they used to do that on a lot of their products. They don't do it anymore. So we'll just have to make do with that. Now we do have our handy dandy rules explanation for this Investigator expansion. Then we have the new dilemmas going here. Here, why don't I zoom in on this actually? So we do have some new rules for these dilemma cards. They're like encounter cards but in your deck, and they have revelation effects. You have the customizable rules, of course. This one's going to be huge. This is like the huge, design weight of this box. Lots of cool things there. Basically, it's just a card that can be changed and customized as you put more XP into it. And of course, some FAQ things going on. All right, let's just, start cracking. Well, first let me open these. So we're gonna open these Investigator mini cards. See what they look like. We have Carson, Vincent, Kymani, Amina, Darrell, and Charlie Kane, of course. All right, let's get into the cards. I'm gonna put both of these in here, and again, I'm gonna look at every single card. So grab a drink or a snack. We might be here a while, especially for these customizable cards. There's a lot to talk about with these. Okay, two very big bags. There we go. Okay, well, that's a big fat stack. So I'm gonna be putting those over here, just out of reach. And then, let me zoom back in, and then I'm going to be doing these one card at a time. All right, so we got Carson Sinclair, the butler. 2s across the board, and he has an additional action for someone else, so that someone else can take an action. He only has 6 health, 6 sanity. So I know there's been a lot of contention in the community surrounding Carson and, his power level, as it were. I honestly don't know. I think I had to just try him out. It is rough that he has 6 health, 6 sanity. Flipping him over, his deck building is akin to Tony, Mandy, and Gloria. So he takes full Guardian, and then he chooses Seeker, Mystic, or Survivor as its sort of flex class. Honestly, it's not bad. I would have wished that he had a lot of the rogue access to rogue 0 events. For example, you handle this one, or the services like the intel reports and the evade one, especially. Because that would have really helped his issues and made his extra action more useful. That being said, you know what? Who knows? Maybe he'll be a sleeper hit. Well, I guess we'll find out. All right, in his signatures, he has 2 copies of As You Wish, and his weakness, Selfless to a Fault. So, As You Wish is like, you know, if you succeed, you draw a card, but if it fails, then you draw the card, and you're committing this to someone else. And Selfless to a Fault. Selfless to a Fault is pretty rough, I think. You basically have to use your action and commit a card to that person's test every single round. So, pretty rough. Not sure how he's going to deal with that. That is pretty rough. Okay. So that is Carson. Now we have Vincent Lee. Super excited about Vincent Lee. He is a analogous to Carolyn, except that instead of when he heals horror, he would, you know, Carolyn gives the investigator a resource. Vincent Lee gives them a copy of On the Mend, which I guess we can just talk about right now, which is this little fellow right here. So it's basically just unexpected courage that sets itself aside out of play after you commit it. He also has his trusty Bone Saw. This card is hilarious. I'm ready to give people physical trauma. That's going to be a fun time. And his weakness, Wounded Bystander. I'm not really sure about this. I don't know. I just don't know how to evaluate how bad it is. When you take non-direct damage, at least one of it must be assigned. When it's defeated, you suffer mental trauma. Okay. So use the healing on it. It doesn't like stop you from giving off On the Mends like it would for Carolyn. So it's not the worst. It's not the worst. Absolutely not the worst. That's 5 health. Starts with 3 damage on it. Maybe. Vincent Lee, of course, gets basically analogous to Carolyn's deck building. The secret card 0 to 3, heal damage 0 to 5, and then the off class Guardian and his Survivors. Okay, well, there we go. All right, so that is Vincent. Next we have Kymani Jones. So they have 5 foots. Pretty sick. And they're all about defeating enemies without actually defeating them. I should say. Discarding enemies. More like it. With those double evade. You have to double evade it still. You have to evade it while it's exhausted. But if you can do that, then that is pretty awesome. Their deck building is, 0 to 4 tools. That's right. So, not a lot of tools I can imagine. Fingerprint Kit. I know there's a level 4 version coming in this box, so that's cool. Sledgehammer is a tool. That's funny. I think they're going to be mostly in an enemy management role, and it's gonna really depend on playstyle whether you go for full evasion or if you go for like a mixture evasion damaging build. But I think they can really do some damage if necessary. They get a grappling hook and Agent Fletcher. Grappling hook does seem pretty sick, honestly, and Agent Fletcher is not that bad. Honestly, not that bad, I think. Oh, and also Kymani starts with 5 extra experience, so that might be cool. Okay, so that's Kymani. Next for Amina, Doom has returned. So her thing, she has 3 across the board, and you can, when you play an asset, you reduce its cost by 3, and it enters play with a Doom on it, which, you know, normally would be a bad thing. But there's going to be tons of cards in this expansion that deal with Doom, as well as remove Doom, move Doom around, etc. At least on player cards. Her deck building is 0 to 5 Mystic, 0 to 4 Charm, so similar to Kymani there. Charms, again, there's not a lot of charms that are off Mystic. There are some charms, obviously, in this deck, in this expansion, but some green stuff, I think, like, is Gold Pocket Watch a charm? I actually don't know that. Don't quote me on that. There are some charms, though, that are off class. She does get 2 signatures, and then her weakness, Word of Weal and Word of Woe, and they both have to do with Doom things. I honestly have no idea what they're doing, so we'll move on from that. Her weakness, though, is Deafening Silence. It's not as bad as, what was I going to say? I don't think it's as bad as Agnes's, the Dark Memory. Yes, because it can, happen out of your control, but Agnes, it also costs her 2 resources and an action to do it. So it's pretty rough for her. So I think it's not a bad weakness, but it could be rough. Could be rough. Okay, next up, because of course we have 5 investigators. We have Darrell Simmons, my boy. So I'm super excited for Darrell. I'm 5 book. Just, are you kidding me? 5 book survivor. He's gonna be Tony for Rogues, and he's like, why survivors can do anything now? He works with evidence. He has Darrell's Codec, which you can get evidence on things. You reduce shroud values of things to get things to difficulty 0, and there's a lot of cards in the expansion that will care about that. It's so cool. Really, really cool. Darrell Simmons, of course, is our second to last main class, subclass deck building. So he has Survivor 5 and Seeker 0-2. So all we're left with is Seeker 0 to 5, Rogue 0 to 2, and when that Investigator comes out, they are going to break the game. I promise you. But yeah, super excited for Darrell. I think he's just going to be like awesome. Like you cannot argue with 5 intellect. That is huge. And last but not least, we have good old Charlie Kane, politician. Oh God, Charlie Kane. I have not tried Charlie Kane since he was previewed. And I've heard a lot of people say like Charlie Kane's so good, big stats. And I'm always worried about like none of his abilities have to do with action compression, but they're like, it doesn't matter. You have big stats, you go rogue things, you go over succeed by things, you get allies that exhaust and do cool things. Maybe, we'll see. I do think Bonnie Walsh is an incredible signature asset, and Charlie with her and Charlie without her is going to be hugely different. Burden of Leadership, of course, is it's not bad. Burden of Leadership, not bad. I should mention, Charlie Kane does get to choose 2 classes at deck creation, and he gets 0 to 2 of those 2 classes along with 0 to 5 allies. So that's huge. He has huge flexibility. And with the new taboo regarding Lola Hayes, maybe the neutral investigators are back in play. So let's see what he does. Okay, well, those are all the investigators. Now let's move on to cards. So I'm just gonna get all the Guardian cards for now. Okay, Guardian cards. Here we are. So again, pack your bring a snack. This might take a while, especially because first off, we're starting with some customizable cards. Where are they? Wait, where are the upgrade sheets? Oh my God, they're in the back. Okay, so I'll go to, I'm getting those right now. Okay, here they are, 1, 2, 3. So it looks like there's 3 copies of each upgrade sheet. We have Hunter's Armor. It's a 4 cost, 2 health, 2 sanity. Takes with the body slot. It's just customizable. And then you can add things like Enchanted, Protective Runes, Durable, Hollow, Lightweight, etc. Again, I'm not going to go through every single upgrade. That'll take forever. But Hunter's Armor, it seems okay, honestly. If you really want this much soak, like, I feel like there's more things you can be doing with your time, like trying to advance the game or trying to deal with enemies that are dealing you damage and horror. So it's kind of meh. Armor of Thorns is a nice upgrade. Unluckily, Daniela cannot take it because it's a higher level Guardian card. Boo. Hex Drinker's not bad. It gives you card draw. Again, I think that there's there's a little bit too much going on, and it's not really that good for what it does, honestly. At least in my opinion. Okay, next, Runic Axe. Holy shit. So, Runic Axe is for sure a lot. There's a lot of text on these cards. But I think that Runic Axe is going to be really, really powerful. That's just me. So Runic Axe, you get these inscriptions, and then you use them when you spend charges on the weapon. You don't actually have to spend any charges, by the way. So it's like an enchanted blade that costs 1 more, basically. But if you want it to be enchanted blade, you need to spend at least a charge, basically. But you can have more things that can cause you to draw cards, or heal damage, or get clues, or move, or deal more damage, or be able to spend more than 1 charge, etc. Honestly, I think this is going to be sick, notably because that +2 combat, so you get a +3 combat for the attack, is actually pretty huge, especially for a level 0 Guardian weapon. It might make off-class Guardians or Guardians with low combat actually feasible with Runic Axe. I'm talking about Sister Mary, I'm talking about Skids O'Toole, right? Like, things like that. Maybe I think that this could work great with Vincent if he goes the damaging route, because you can add Inscription of Glory that can cause you to heal damage. Awesome. Or if you go in Carolyn, right? Because this is not a firearm. No, sorry, it's a weapon. Never mind. Disregard that. Carolyn cannot take it. All right, that's Runic Axe. All right, next is Custom Modifications. What the heck is this card? Attached to a firearm asset you control, limit 1 per asset. When you reveal a non-autoveil chaos token while attacking with attached asset, exhaust custom modifications, cancel that chaos token, return it to the bag, and reveal a new one. Okay. So obviously a 3-cost event for 3-cost event for that effect is not that great, but we'll see about its things. So +2 fight is pretty good. Quicksilver bullets, you use it by 3 or more, get +1 damage. Okay, so it's kind of in enchant weapon territory right there. If you perform an attack with an attached asset against an enemy engaged with you, another investigator, and fail, you deal no damage. That's not great. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's an interesting card. I'm not sure how good it is, especially with its cost. Leather grip will get -1 cost and make it fast. That might be like a go-to with this card. Having it cost 2 and be fast is way better, I think. Although I have realized custom modifications, there's no uses, so you can just do that for free once around. But it's with a firearm, so it's basically it's limited by the amount of ammo you have. Oh wait, after ammo is spent from or placed on attached asset by another event, place an ammo on attached asset. After ammo is spent from or placed on attached asset by another event. So like eat lead would spend from attached asset, and custom ammunition, extra ammunition would put more on. Okay. This, we'll see. It's one of those kind of niche upgrades, I think, that not everyone's going to want to use. All right, next up, Obsidian Bracelet, not a customizable card, so that's cool. 3 costs, only assign damage horror by treachery effects, assign damage or horror dealt to other investigators at location. 3 costs takes up a hand slot, so obviously for Guardians that's pretty rough. Off-class Guardians, not bad. Diana, doesn't really cancel anything, maybe good for Soak. This feels like a Carson card, and I think that's where I'm going to put it. Bolas! Is Nicole here? Sorry. Evade. Attempt to evade using your fist instead of foot. If you succeed and the enemy is non-elite, attach Bolas to it. Attached enemy gets -1 evade value. After attached enemy moves, it is exhausted. That's so funny. Oh my god, this is so good! After it moves. Okay, so that's interesting. So hunter enemies, I believe, will move, and they will still engage the closest, they will still engage an investigator if they go in, because the engage is like a constant effect that is always checking. Like whenever there's whenever there's an enemy and an investigator, they will try to engage with each other. So it won't disengage. But if this is during the hunter enemy phase, they're going to ready again anyway. So honestly, I think that's pretty cool. Like it basically just, yeah, this is so cool. It's like put these on hunter enemies and go wild. I think that's really fun. Breach the door. Insight tactic. Police 2 cost. Test fist 1. If you succeed, attach breach the door to your location with one resource on it for each point you succeeded by as leads. Reduce attached location shroud by 1 for each lead on breach the door. There is no maximum on that text. I actually think that this might be busted. Well, maybe not busted. I think because there is no way to get rid of this card. It is like you're removing it from the game, which is like, rough. Secondly, what am I trying to say? Like reducing shroud on one location is fine. Like obviously skeleton key exists. But knowing now that there are a lot of things that trigger off of a 0 shroud location, this card might be like a huge party will build around this card, given that a Guardian with high fist can take it and can succeed by a bajillion. So, I'm talking about Tony Morgan can take this with Guardian access. Mark Harrigan, Nathaniel Cho, who else? Daniela Reyes, right? Lily Chan, technically, although that takes up her 5 slot. So maybe not great there, but it's a really, really good support card is what I'm trying to say. I think it's really cool. Okay, next. Grievous Wound. Fast after you play after you successfully attack a non-elite enemy using a melee asset, attach Grievous Wound to the attacked enemy. Force at the end of the round, deal a damage to the attached enemy. If this said, if it didn't say non-elite, really, really good card. It says non-elite, and most enemies that are elite have huge piles of health, which would actually be useful with Grievous Wound. Unfortunately, all this is it's just like it's like a vicious blow that's one round too late because the enemy phase will already pass. So I'm thinking it's okay. It's not great. Motivational speech. 0 cost. Parlay. Choose an investigator at your location. Then investigator may play an ally asset from their hand, reducing its cost by 3. Uncage the ally. Pretty sick. Honestly, it's pretty sick. I don't think that it is an auto-include now, but I do think it's very good. One in the chamber. Oh yeah, this card. Add an ammo to the asset. You get +3 skill value for your next attack with that asset this round. This card is sick. If you're going firearms, take this card. Leo Anderson, huge guns, take this card. Tony Morgan with Guardian access, take this card. Mark Harrigan going shotgun or flamethrower. Take this card. It's great. Holy shit. I think it's really good. Okay, next up. Fighting lessons. Right, this is a... you can commit this to anyone in any location, but you can only commit it to an attack and evasion. It's okay, I guess. If you're that far away from someone, you can't commit stuff to them. I don't know what you're doing. If you're playing Carson, you should like automatically have safeguard and be with them at all times. So yeah, it's fine. Helping Hand. You may commit Helping Hand to any type of test. Max 1 committed per test. While Helping Hand is committed to a skill test, double the skill icons of each other card committed to this test. This card, I think, is okay if you know that you're like a succeed by X rogue, because then you can succeed by literally a bajillion. But other than that, this card is kind of bad because it literally doesn't do anything by itself. You need to commit other cards to it. So yeah, I actually think it's kind of bad, but it's okay. Okay, Bestow Resolve, level 2 cards. Okay, we're getting into upgraded ones. Uses 4 charges, free triggered during a skill test performed by an investigator location or connecting location, spend a charge. Commit a non-weakness card from your hand to that skill test, treating all of its skill icons as wild icons. So technically with this, you could spend 4 charges and commit 4 cards. That's hilarious. Commit a non-weakness card from your hand. Level 2. Connecting location is not bad. Again, this is probably a Carson card. I think it's okay. It doesn't really do much because committing things to other people isn't like a huge thing. Unless you want to use this for yourself. I'd have to reevaluate a lot of cards to see its value, because you're no longer just looking at the value of the icons itself. You're like, how many icons does this have? Necronomicon has 6 icons. Let's go. Okay. Field Agent. Right, you deal horror to it, get clues. Sick card. Love it. Upgraded Guard Dog. Oh, right, this is the Council in Exile one. Love this card. Hope, sad it's not red, but I'm glad that Diana can still take it and stuff like that, so I think it's still good. Handcuffs. Fast. And also remove a Doom. Remove all Doom. Yeah, get fucked, Brotherhood Cultists. This card is good. Holy shit. Level 2, prepared for the worst? They needed to make this card, huh? So you choose any investigator location instead of just yourself, and you can play it if you want to, paying its resource cost still. That is amazing. I don't know if it's a go-to, but that is really good. It is really good. Okay, Martyr's Vambrace. Remnant of the Unknown. Accessory slots. It's a charm. Okay, it's a charm, so Amina can take it. +1 skill value while resolving revelation abilities on encounter cards. Reaction after another investigator location draws a non-peril encounter card. Before resolving that card, you draw it. So it's a, I'll handle this one. On a stick. You know what? This would be a Carson card if he wanted to take those tests. Non-peril encounter card. Okay, so that would include enemies. I don't know why he's taking enemies. But treacheries, maybe. He has 3s across the board now. We're dealing treacheries. I don't know. It is definitely a Carson card, though. Maybe Amina, though. But Amina wants her, like, other... I don't know. We'll see. Girish Kadakia. Girish seems actually amazing. Because both Vincent and Carolyn can already take him. But Vincent can take him. Holy shit. Yeah, so it's like an unexpected courage every single turn. That's pretty good. And you can heal horror and damage. That's pretty good. You can be assigned damage to horror from other people. That's pretty good. 4 XP is a lot, though. I think if that was 3 XP, that would be excellent. Ever Vigilant level 4. One at a time, investigators your location as a group may play up to 4 assets in total from their hands, reducing the resource contributions by 1. Insane. That is an insane card. I don't think it's broken, but it is insane. Huh, wow. That's really, really good. Holy shit. Yeah, that's about as much as I can say. That's insane. Okay, well, those are the Guardian cards. We're moving on to Seeker. Let's go. All right, so we're starting off with another customizable card here. Alchemical Distillation. Let me get those upgrade sheets. Here they are. 2 cost. As an action, spend a supply, choose an investigator location, and test book 1. If you succeed, that investigator performs one of the following options. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 resources, and then up here, heal 2 damage, heal 2 horror, place a charge of single out of your control, move it 2 times, and just play with 2 additional supplies. You can increase the difficulty by 2. Oh yeah, I remember this card. It's a very good support card because it actually doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't deal damage. It doesn't get clues. Thank you. Thank you, designers, for giving Seekers these cards. These are actually good Seeker cards. I'm not trying to be, petty about that. Let me start over. I think this is good because, an action to draw 2 cards and potentially, do that twice with Perfected. Oh no, what is it again? Empower. That's what I meant to say. You increase it by 1, so you draw 3 cards. It's still a test, actually. Honestly, I think I value the place 1 charge or secret on an asset you control more than the 2 cards, 2 resources, obviously. 2 resources, honestly, is not that great either, because you're not actually doing anything with that test. Okay, I think it's okay. It's okay. There might be some broken things you can do with it, but I have not discovered those just yet. Empirical hypothesis. Okay, well. Start of the round, choose one of the following criteria. That's right. And then when that criteria gets hit, you may exhaust it, add an evidence to it. So, evidence. So, first of all, this is a Darrell card. Holy shit. We need more evidence. Can anyone actually take this to level 5? Vincent, can it heal him? It doesn't actually heal horror. Or heal damage, I mean. So, actually, I don't think anyone in the box can currently take this to up to 5. I could be wrong. Please let me know. But I think that this is great. It's going to be an amazing evidence generator for Darrell, for sure. All right, the Raven Quill. This one's a weird one. So you basically get an extra experience to upgrade a customizable card when you just upgrade. So that includes customizable, but just also, shriveling or a 45 automatic. You have to actually attach it, though. Yeah. And then... Oh, tome or spell, so shriveling, but also tome, upgrade tome, encyclopedia. I'm sure there's more. I'm not remembering them right now. Sorry. Oh, some spells. Like there are a lot of customizable spells, I think. Honestly, I have no idea what to think about this card. I'll think about it later. Okay. Dissection tools. After an enemy or location is defeated. Oh, it's a Hawkeye folding camera, but for fisticuffs. That's fun. Sure, let's do it. Grim Memoir. As an action, spend a secret, investigate. You get +2 intellect for this investigation. If you succeed by 2 or more, you may draw a card. That's busted. I think this might be busted. Maybe not busted. It doesn't get more clues. Unless you're Rex Murphy. This seems really good. That seems really good. I'll have to think on that. But that seems really good. Ooh, research notes. I love this card. Yeah, this is the whole placing clues on things. And then you can test book to spend evidence to actually get the clues back. Really, really good card. Pivotal for that archetype. Bizarre Diagnosis. Place 1 of your clues on your location. Then heal 3 damage from an investigator or ally asset at your location. Fascinating. Good card? Yeah, I think so. Good card. If you're in for the healing, you're Vincent. It's good. All right, Captivating Discovery. Search the top 6. Sorry, I'll put this over here. Search the top 6 cards of your deck. You may place up to 3. Oh, that's right. This one's. It is just a search, right? For each clue placed in the choosing out 2 of the search cards shuffle deck. Right. So it's almost like a double action to draw 2 out of search 6 because the clue that you dropped is kind of like an action you lost. Obviously, I think this synergizes with the clue dropping, but otherwise, I don't know if I would put it in every secret deck. So that's what I think. Map the area. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. So you get this, and then you attach it to your location, and then your guardian plays Kick the Door In, or whatever that card is called. It's Fist 0, and then you get reduced by a bajillion. Okay, it's fun. Analysis. Practiced, yes. After revealing a wild icon, yes. After revealing a chaos token for this skill test, you may place 1 of your clues in your location to cancel the chaos token, return to the chaos token, and reveal a new one. You can do that to an autofail. You can do it to an autofail. Let's go. That's epic. That's a really good card. Lab code. When you fail a skill test on a secret card by 1 or less exhaust lab codes, you see by 0 instead. Lucky has been taken by the Seekers. Okay, just kidding. Orphic Theory. Oh, that's right. You can blank this is a rolled Ellsworth on a stick. Okay. Existential Riddle. Oh yeah, this one's cool. Automatically evade and it gains aloof. I think I am undervaluing this card right now because obviously it doesn't get rid of the enemy, but sometimes making an enemy aloof just blanks it to begin with, so it's good. I think a good tech card. Really, really good tech card. And maybe more. Upgraded Guidance. This is a Carson card because he can take, if he chooses Seeker, this is a Carson card, of course. +1 to each of their skills during their turn, and no attacks opportunity. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Dr. William T. Melson upgraded, working on something bigger. I want to see what he's working on. Any one in a location, and then they draw 2 and choose one of them. Oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Still 1 cost for 2 and 2. That's still pretty good. Press Pass. Level 2. If you spend 1 or more clues or place 1 or more clues in your location, exhaust Press Pass. You may take an additional action during this turn or your next turn without clearing your turn. This card is amazing. Holy shit. If it just said place 1 or more clues in your location, you can do this thing. It would be good. But you can use it after you spend clues. Like on the Act. Or like Midnight Mass to get a cult. Oh my god. You know what? This might be a Roland card. Oh my god. Roland loves this. He can just get... Oh my god. This seems amazing, actually. Maybe I'm overvaluing it? I don't know. It does cost 4. That is a lot. I agree with that. It's a charm. Amina can take it. Okay. Surgical Kit. Whenever your card heals damage, spend a supply. Either heal an additional damage, or you draw a card and heal a horror. Wow. So Carolyn can take this, huh? And then double action, heal 3 damage, which means that you could double action, spend a supply, heal 3 damage, and also either heal 4 damage or heal 3 damage, draw a card, and you heal a horror. Well, Vincent's taking this for sure. It's a level 3 card. Okay, Fingerprint Kit, level 4. 5 cost, 3 supplies, +2 book, 2 additional clues. It's Rite of Seeking, baby. The Seekers have finally become infected by the Mystic XP tax. Alright, Grey's Anatomy. This card is wild. Obviously, rules is written. This thing doesn't actually heal damage or horror, but they said that Vincent and Carolyn can take this, so we're going to do that. This card seems sick. I love this card for just its effect being like, the Seeker's not dealing damage. The Seeker is allowing the Guardian to deal a bajillion more damage. Really, really cool card. Alright, that is Seekers. Let's move on to Rogue cards. Rogue. Come on. There you are. Okay. Here are some Rogue cards, and we have the next one, Damning Testimony. It has evidence, but Darrell cannot take it. Exhausted. Right. This was the Trish card. This seems amazing in Trish. I just remember that. It seems amazing in Trish. We're gonna stick with that. Friends in Low Places. Ah, that's right. This one's cool, actually. I actually really like this one. You record a trait and you can search top 6, or sorry, look at top 6, because we can't have Band-Aid doing cool shit. Look at top 6, and then you can spend resources to draw those things. You can add another trait. You can have like double things. Anyway, it's cool. I think it's cool. It is cool, for sure. Honed Instinct. This is a new one. Fast, play only after one of the following conditions is met. The agenda act advances. Okay. Succeed a skill test by 3 or more. Immediately take an action if it's your turn. Max once per round. Okay, take a damage or horror. Location enters play is revealed. Enemy engaged with you. Amazing. It's cool. It's cool. I think 1 cost fast. Take extra actions during your turn. Well, we did have Swift Reflexes. That is a 2 cost fast. Well, it can give you 2... You know what? Comparing it to Swift Reflexes, obviously Impulse Control, though. You can have 3 copies and it costs 0. Okay, if you're getting this card, you get Impulse Control. 0 cost, 3 copies. Take extra actions. I think that's amazing. That does seem amazing. All right, next. Disguise. Uses 4 supplies, evade, and you slip away them. So I think this is a tech card, because if you are planning to slip away or play slip away once, don't take this card because it takes an action to play and then an action to use it. If you are planning though to use Slip Away, like ideally you'd use Slip Away like 3 or 4 times, then you take this card. That's when you take this card. Bezel Treasure. That's right. You store resources now to give to other people at the start of the next scenario. Pretty cool. It's illicit, so fuck you, Preston. Thieves Kits. I think this card is pretty good. Getting resources is good. Investigating with foot for rogues is good. Talking with Winifred and Skids, maybe. I think it's pretty good. Okay. Hidden Pocket. I would like to put a pocket in my shoes, please. You get hold an illicit asset. I think it's pretty cool. If you're going for this, you go for it, but otherwise, it's you know, it's a thing. Hit and Run. I believe people are calling this Sleight of Man, and that is very funny. I am laughing very hard right now. But yeah, for like any kind of entry effect, so Jeremiah Kirby, laboratory assistant, research librarian, medical student. This is an awesome card. Pretty cool. I'll take that. Oh yeah, this card. This card was really early in the previews. Successfully invade. You can play an item. Succeed by gains illicit. I think this is good. I have to think about what more things that illicit assets in play will deal with, but obviously it's like it's a reward for evading. So Kymani, Winifred, Rita, because it's a trick, will love this. Kicking the Hornet's Nest. Yay. This is a cool card. Grab an enemy from the encounter deck and gain money and discover clues. That is pretty awesome. I think this card is very good. Quick Getaway. When it attacks you, try to evade it before it does. It's okay. If you can trigger things off of evasion, then it's good, but otherwise, meh. Calculated Risk. It's the faded version, or faded card for skill. It's fine. Use it for your Frozen in Fear. That's what you use it for, right? Because it says gains perform this turn. Well, it just says any time only if it is your turn, right? And at the end of your turn is in your turn. So okay, yeah, you use that for Frozen in Fear. That's the Frozen. Okay, so with that in mind, at level 0 for sure. Get rid of it after you're upgrading out. Okay, Stylish Coat. More body slots. We're getting a lot of body slots. When you gain 1 or more resources during your turn via another player card effect, exhaust Stylish Coat, gain 1 additional resource. Well, it's fine, I think. You're going big money, obviously, so having 1 more on the card is not great, honestly. You have to do this like 3 or 4 times for it to be kind of worth it. It's exhausted too. I think it's kind of meh. Chuck Fergus, baby. So you just choose 1 instead of choosing 2 of them. That's what level 2 means. Pretty good still. Dirty Fighting. Limit 1 for Investigator. While attacking, parlaying, or attempting to evade an exhausted enemy, you get +2 skill value. After you evade an enemy, exhaust Dirty Fighting. Take a fight action against the enemy. Ignore the aloof keyword for this attack. They heard playing board games. I'm just kidding. This card's cool. If you want to do this, this is amazing. Rita can take this because it's a trick. That's the first trick I've seen in an asset, but of course they put it there because so that Rita could take it. An exhausted enemy. I mean, obviously Kymani will love this. Parlaying an exhausted enemy. Ichtakas, we're coming for you. Okay. Breaking Enemy level 2. It is a solid upgrade, exactly analogous to Slip Away and Cheap Shots upgrades. I love it. Trish loves it. Kymani probably will love it. And Winnie will love it too. Seems good. Upgraded Thieves Kit. I think this is sick. It's a little overcosted XP wise, I think. But if you're going big money, you go for this, I think. And you have big foot. Trigger Man. After Trigger Man enters play, attach an illicit asset from your hand to Trigger Man. It is considered to be in play and under your control. Free trigger, exhaust Trigger Man, spend a resource, resolve an action ability on attached asset without paying an action cost. Okay, so basically, it's like it plays a card for you. It still takes up slots, right? Because it doesn't take up slots. But on your turn, the Trigger Man can take the asset from you, use it, and then give it back to you. That's what this card is. So yes, Trigger Man can like take your gun, shoot at it with a base of 4, give it back to you. Or he could take your flask, force you to drink it, and then give it back to you. Touching liquid trigger is so funny. All right, that's Trigger Man. I think it's okay. It's fine. Underworld Market. This card is so cool. Where is it over here? It's like with the level 4 cards. I don't know how I feel about that. That's fine. Right, you put illicits into a deck. You can spend resources, and every turn you get to see the top cards of the deck. Looks cool. Really cool. Last but not least, Clean Sneak. For each exhausted non-swarm enemy at your location, choose a different option. Thank you, FFG, for putting swarm in the text. Thank you. We thank you very much. The enter resource, deal 2 damage to that enemy, discover a clear location, draw a card. Amazing card, if you can take it. Kymani, obviously. Winnie, probably. Unfortunate that Rita cannot take this because it's a level 4 trick, I believe, and she only can take level 3. But yeah. So, it's a good card if you can take it, for sure. All right, next up, we have our Mystic cards. Over halfway through, for sure. Hopefully my voice isn't dying just yet. And first of all, we have Living Ink. Okay. What the heck is this card? When you purchase it, choose a skill and circle on an upgrade sheet. At the start of your turn, remove a charge. If it has no charges, discard it. You got +1 to chosen skills. 0 cost, pick the body slot. Wow. Shifting Ink, you can give it to someone else. Subtle Depiction, you can just choose to not... Okay, Subtle Depiction, for sure. You take Subtle Depiction. This still costs an action, so you still need to set it up. Subtle Depiction is key. Otherwise, the bonuses can be wasted. Imbued Ink takes up 2 charges. Ooh, Akachi. Whoa, Akachi would like this, actually. 6 rounds of +1 brain. Using an arcane slot, though, so that's not the great. It's not the best. But still 4 rounds using your body slot. That's not bad. Choose another skill. Choose another skill. After you reveal a chaos deck with a symbol, place a charge on it. Jim Culver, let's go. And then you get +1, and you can -1 to everything else. I think it's cool. I'm not sure how good it is, but it is definitely cool. It is for sure cool. Okay, Summoned Servitor. This thing has a bunch of text on it, and I have no idea what any of it does. It's just like it has its own actions that can do its own thing. It takes up your ally slot, even though it's on the board, so it's really confusing. It can fight, evade, or investigate. It can move. It doesn't take up a slot. It can do 2 different actions. I think it's gonna be good just with all the shit they can do, but I have no idea how to evaluate it. Okay, Power Word. This one seems actually really cool, but also like it has a bajillion options to use. But I do think it's cool. You can just, cause it to exhaust every turn with an action. I think Greater Control is going to be pretty key for Power Word because you want to be able to use this on multiple enemies because that's the thing, right? Enemies are pretty transient. They're not always on the board, and having more on the board is always usually a bad idea. And it does you can have 3 copies. So yeah, we'll see about Power Word. I'm going to try it out for sure. Okay, here we go. On to the Mystic Cycle. Every expansion these days has to have a cycle of fight, evade, investigate things. This one, they're not arcane slots, or spells, or have charges. Hand slot, melee, fight. Doom, specifically. Okay, Sickle is pretty good, I think. Quick thoughts. Dowsing Rod is really good, actually, I think. Hallowed Chalice, I think, is really cool. It's not very efficient, but I think it could be good. Especially in maybe Vincent or Carolyn. Onyx Pentacle, it's an evade, right? And you can evade something at a connecting location for a Doom. That's actually really cool, I think. So I'm going to give this one a really cool. Okay. Eldritch Initiation. For each arcane slot you have, draw a card, max 5. For each filled arcane slot you have, choose and discard a card from your hand. It's cool, yeah. So if you have nothing on the board, this is a draw 2 for 1. If you have both of your arcane slots filled, it is a draw 2, discard 2 for 1. Which is not the best, but it's not bad. I think it's okay. Mystics need draw, so I always appreciate that. Explosive Ward. Before you play Explosive Ward, you may discard any number of cards from your arcane slots. Deal X damage to a non-elite enemy engaged with you. X cannot be greater than the number of empty arcane slots you have. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. So, by default, X cannot be greater than the number of empty. Sorry, there it is. Because if it's filled, then you deal 0 damage. So by default, this is a 2 cost, deal 2 damage to a non-elite enemy. You know what? That's actually not that good. Mono a mono costs 0 and deals 2, but it has to be your first action. So there's some opportunity cost there. This is a spell, so Arcane Initiate can find it. I think it's good, but we'll see. We'll see if this usurps Spectral Razor. That's the big thing, because this thing cannot deal damage to elite enemies regardless, right? And it also, I think, has some trouble reliably dealing 3 damage like Spectral Razor does. And Spectral Razor costs 2 for 3 damage, and it can engage it. I think that we'll see about this card. I'm not sure if it'll usurp it. String of Curses, Parlay. Oh yeah, you remove all Doom, you can discover a clue, you can evade. Oh, sorry, not all Doom, but you can if it has 1 or more Doom on it, you can defeat it. That's really cool. Like, that's actually sick. It just has to have at least 1 or more Doom on it, and you can just defeat it. That seems really cool. Like, if you can somehow, like, I don't know if there's cards that can add Doom to enemies, but, you know, Acolytes, Wizards of the Order, you just parlay and it's gone. It's an auto kill. That's really, really cool. Great removal. Binder's Jar. What the heck is this? You get +1 arcane slot for each enemy beneath Binder's Jar. Reaction. After a non-elite enemy is defeated at your location, place that enemy face down beneath Binder's Jar. Limit 2 enemies beneath it. Reaction. When an enemy attacks you, discard an enemy beneath Binder's Jar that shares a trait with the attacking enemy. Cancel that attack. Honestly, I wouldn't even cancel the attacks. Just put them under the basement and never let them leave. Especially in 4-player. It's cool. I think it's cool. Limit 2 enemies beneath it. Okay, there you go. And it's unique. Okay, that's fine. I think it's fine. It's fine. Accessory slot, kind of rough. It's fine. Ghastly Possession. This card seems sick. Place a Doom on that asset. It gains Wild. Honestly, fine. If the test is successful, remove a Doom or you replenish half of its uses. That is amazing. Just uses, not charges. You could commit this to someone using the M1918 bar and put like 4 ammo back on the gun. I am ready for that. That seems amazing. Okay. Astral Mirror. For each of your arcane slots that are empty, you have 1 additional hand slot. So right. So this is the body slot that helps support the charms that are in it. This is going to be key if you're going for Sickle or the Dowsing Rod. For sure. You get this, I think. Other than that, not sure. El Rubash. Yes, so you get +1 skill by resolving a skill test on an attached asset. You can attach it. You can attach an asset with Doom to her, and 1 Doom on attached assets does not count towards the Doom threshold. If you're going Doom, take this card. Amazing. Holy shit. Really good card. Moonlight Ritual. Fast. Remove all Doom from a non-elite card. Card at your location. Fast. Remove all Doom. A card. Could be an enemy. Sick. Amazing. Let's do it. Sin Eater. Right. This card. This card is just so good. It's really too good. You move a Doom from an asset you control to Sin Eater, then either ready the asset or place a charge on it. I don't know why we needed that extra text. The action to remove all the Doom is just good enough. Like, it's permanent. It's already permanent. I think that if it lost one of the 3 things it has, permanence, moving Doom, moving and removing Doom, and readying or placing charges. If it removed one of those things, it would be perfect. Like a perfectly designed card. This seems really, really good, and I don't know how to feel about it, but it's really good. Uncage the Soul. This one's cool. You can like reload a spell. You can discard it and play from your discard pile. You can do something like that. I think that's literally the only benefit. Or from your discard pile. So if you lost it before, you can get it again. Really good, really good. Really good card. All right, the upgrade. So, Sickle upgrade. Honestly, I don't think it's that great. You're not getting any more damage. Yeah, you're just not getting more damage. I think that obviously the skill value helps, but you're not getting more damage, which is what you want. Obviously, it's a melee weapon, so they can't really do that, but it's okay. Dowsing Rod is similarly okay. Getting a successful investigation is more valuable than a successful attack, so I will make it a little higher than the Sickle. But it's fine. And then the upgraded Onyx Pentacle, same deal. I think that honestly, I don't really know who's gonna get this, but maybe Diana? I don't know. I think it's okay. Okay. Whew, we're almost there. We're getting onto the Survivor cards now. Da-da-da. Here we go. And starting off, we have the Pocket Multi-Tool. Right, this just gets you more skill value, and then you can do it on treacheries or attacks, or you can do it on evasions, or you can make it spring-loaded, and therefore it's a lucky. It's fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. Okay, Makeshift Trap. Here we go. What is this? Attach your location. Oh, it has time. Oh, this is so funny. Each not only enemy attached location, it's -1 5, -1 evade. At the end of the move at time. You can increase or decrease its uses by 1. And that's, yes, of course, explosive device. It's a bomb. That's really funny. Again, I don't know how good this is, but this is really fun and I want to try it. It seems like a lot of fun. Okay, Grizzled. So this is the one where if you commit this against things that have particular traits, it gets more wild icons, right? Yeah. I honestly think it's kind of meh. It's just more wild icons. Mythos Hardened, maybe. Getting treacheries out of the encounter deck beats a lot of things in the Circle Undone. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's just okay. Okay, Idol of Xanatos. Discard cards to cancel damage. Good for discarding archetypes. Maybe York, but York's wants his Sheriff's Keepsake, I think. If you're going for the improvised stuff, maybe. I don't know. I think it's okay. Not the best. Improvised Shield can only be played from your discard pile. When it's just defeated, shuffle into your deck instead of discarding it. This is a fun card. Obviously, you have to find ways to discard it. For example, Idol of Xanatos, or Cornered. Or if you're Patrice, but it's fun. Sorry about that. I just hit the deck. It's fun. If you're not, 3 Soak is not the best, but still good. It's okay. End of the road. Fast. Play during your turn only if the final agenda is in play. Draw a card, gain a resource, gain additional action, remove it from the... This is phenomenal. This is amazing. This is so good. That it feels like this card is phenomenal. Wow. It replaces itself, gets a resource, additional action. It's already fast. Oh my god. And you play it when you need it. Final agenda. Oh my god. This card is not busted. I think this is like amazing. This is amazing. Yeah. Expose weakness. Ah, yes. If it's, you can only play it if it's you're fighting something with difficulty 0, you automatically succeed, and then what is this? Attack or evasion. You can discard it. Wow. If it's elite, you automatically evade it and deal 3 damage to it. That's cool. If you can get it off. So you gotta exploit weakness, then sorry, no, you gotta what is it? You gotta expose weakness, then exploit weakness. There you go. This is gonna be hard, but maybe Darrell. We'll see. Making preparations. Foot bad is here. Oh, that's right. Well, I mean, these are the first dilemma cards, so we need to talk about those. Foot bad. Predator or Prey. I actually do think this is way too situational to be good. That's my opinion on that. Shed a Light seems actually busted. I saw this card and I was like, this is busted. Because now there's so many ways to reduce your Shroud to 0. This is busted. At Crossroads. Okay, upgraded ones. At Crossroads seems really, really good, I think. Extra actions, good. Or just draw 3 cards. That's also good. Lifeline. Stella is in love with this card. It's really funny, I think. I think it's good, but not incredible. Nature of the Beast. Dilemma. Reveal top 3 cards in counter deck. Choose Investigator. Draw one of the revealed cards. Discard the rest and choose Investigator. So never include any revealed location. It seems so random, but we'll see. Gumption. Holy shit. Unexpected Courage, but the other way around. Triggers the difficulty 0 things. So good. Level 2 Baseball Bat. This card is really, really cool. If it cracks, you can either just put it back into your hand, or you could discard it to get an additional damage. And if you're York, then you can just play it again. This is amazing in York, obviously. And I think it's a cool upgrade. All right, here we go. Katya Eastbank. So basically, you look at the card, and you're like, I don't want that card. Draw a new card. You have to exhaust her, so you can't do it forever. That'd be so funny. And then you can take an extra draw card. Basically, I think that this is for, I drew a dilemma, but it's not useful right now. Put it underneath her. I'll draw the dilemma when I want to. That is effectively like, I'm going to actually play the dilemma. So if you're going dilemmas, I think you play her. Maybe with Patrice. Maybe if you're going like big hand Min, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Hit the Dream, right? This is the one where it's like an eye split you choose type deal. I think it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's good. It's good. Salvage. This is a really cool design. I actually love the design of this card. Obviously, you want it to be more than 3 resources. If you're going to the top one, because obviously just then e-cash. But just playing an asset for your discard pile is always good. Just like playing it. I think this is good for any kind of scavenging deck that wants to run it. Or even just short supply deck. Oh my god. Old Keyring level 3. Look at the majesty. It has 3 keys. It gets, if it's difficulty 0, you just get another clue. Oh my god. It's really good. It's kind of too good, honestly. But it's really good. Fickle Fortune. This card is hilarious. I think that it is really, really risky. But honestly, the bottom effect is not bad, because taking direct damage and direct horror is not the worst. I'd have to ask my team if I wanted to put this in the deck, though. It's kind of mean. We'll see. All right. Last but not least, we have our neutral cards of the cycle, as well as the weaknesses. So I'll show those off too. So we have hyper physical shot caster. That is like 4 words that are all clumped together. Theoretical device. Customizer uses for ether. If have no uses discarded, spend an ether. Resolve the manifest ability from the hyperphysical shotcaster's current form. Free trigger exhausted to change it, so just you can change it once per turn. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fight any skill +1 damage. Investigate any skill. Discover or include any revealed location instead of your location. Evade any skill. You may move an investigator or not only enemy location to a connected location or vice versa. That seems really cool. Manifest, test any skill 3. Discard from play a non-weakness treachery that is not attached. So if you succeed, you get to play Alter Fate. Choose an asset your hand, test any skill X. You can play the asset, so it's like the Unearth the Ancients, that's the card. Begins play with 2 additional ether, plus your skill value. Wow. That is a lot. That is a lot. So the question is a neutral card that can literally do anything good and or good for the game? I think that if you're playing true solo, there are 2 ways you can look at this card. The first way is you can turn any investigator into a true solo deck now by pumping 10 XP into this card. Yeah. Maybe not Preston or like Jenny, because I don't know if she'd benefit from this because it's all 3s. But like Mark can now investigate true solo. I mean, he could always do that. But like, Nathaniel or Mandy Thompson can like fire a gun with her book. 2, I don't think there is any reason if you're playing true solo to not take this card. It can literally do anything. For multiplayer, it's fine, I think. I think the translocator ability is cool. Rail shooter is not good. Although, oh god, maybe everyone wants this. Maybe that's the problem, because it tests any skill. Maybe that's the problem. Holy shit. Oh god, Mystics? Oh, Mystics can just use their willpower for everything. As long as I can find the card. It has the relic trait, that's hilarious. Lily can't take it, so thank God. Oh, I think it's too good. Oh, it might be too good. Oh no. Oh no, maybe it's too good. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see, but maybe it's too good. That's my current worry. This might be too good. I don't know. I don't know though. I really don't know. I have to try it out. We'll see. Any skill. That's bust. That's rough. Or any skill, not rough, but really good is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Has every class gotten a body slot? Yes. Has Survivor gotten a body slot today? Just checking idols and says permission. No. I guess not. Okay. So everyone except Survivor has gone to body slot, but maybe this is the Survivor body slot. I'm just kidding. This is definitely Kymani's tool belts. You can put tools on here. They don't have to take up slots. Pretty cool. I think if you're going for it, it's decent, but it's kind of it's good. So refined. So double action. By the way, I back in the oldie days, I homebrewed a keyword called slow, which is like the opposite of fast. It just takes additional action. So this basically has slow, but it also has the double keyword, which is apparently not a reference, but like a nomenclature from Netrunner and obviously Nisei nowadays. So that's funny. So 3 costs, double action, mark a checkbox, max once per game. I honestly don't know how valuable this is. Other than the fact that it changes the upgrade sheet during the scenario, I don't know if this is worth the double action 3 resources and a card. I don't know if that's worth it. I don't think that's worth it. You only get it once per game, so it's like you're getting 1 for double action, 3 resources. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass. Maybe not. I could be wrong. All right, upgraded flashlight. This is cool because now you're not investigating with the flashlight. It is triggered off of an investigation or an evade, of course. So you could use the keyring to investigate with a flashlight in the other hand, get a -4 to the shroud. That will for sure get you an additional clue with the upgraded keyring. This is cool. And I also love that, you know, the council cards is they're getting representation, so that's cool. Okay, Soul Sanctification. This card has been really, really cool to think about. Basically, you know, excess damage or horror that you would heal, it turns into offerings, which you get unexpected courages for. I think if you're going for the healing and the horror healing, then this card is a must. Because so often do you have bursty cards like heal 3 damage, heal 3 horror, that you feel like you're wasting, that you never feel like you're going to use. This one turns them into somewhat of value. So yeah, I think if you're going for it, you take it. Okay, weaknesses. So yes, these ones have the class-specific weaknesses. It'd be really funny if they had a neutral investigator class only, but I don't think there's actually a symbol for that. Actually, is there a neutral symbol? No, there isn't. So it would just be like, whatever. That's right. This is the one that wasn't previewed yet. So Lurker in the Dark. 3 fights, 2 health, 1 evade, monster, Shoggoth, Guardian Investigator only, Hunter. Spawn any connecting location. Lurker in the Dark can only be attacked or damaged using weapon assets or tactic events, and takes 1 fewer damage from each source. So it has 3 health, basically. Or double action. I think it's fine. Totally fine. Yeah, this one you can discard 4 of the cards. I think that one is fine. Pay or due, you get discounted by 5 for each action you spend. So triple action will get to 0, but double action 5 resources is a little rough, but I think it's okay. You just take the damage at the end of the turn, which is not the worst thing. It's not a direct damage. Ectoplasmic Horror, I still have no idea what this effect says. Okay. The first time you reveal a Chaos token while attacking or attempting to evade Ectoplasmic Horror, reveal an additional token for each empty arcane slot you have. The first time you reveal a Chaos token while attacking or attempting to evade Ectoplasmic Horror. So I have to believe that the reason that they put it like the first time is because that means that it is once per instance of this enemy. As in, if this showed up later on, you'd have to do the double token thing again or whatever. Because otherwise, it would just say, you know, forced, when you attack or attempt to evade this enemy, reveal chaos tokens for blah, 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 right? I think that just has to be what it is. So we're going to go with that. All right, lastly, underprepared. I actually think this is the hardest one to get rid of, surprisingly. Because you not only need to have one resource in your resource pool, but you also it has to be the only card. Now, that being said, its detriment is not the worst. One fewer matching skill icon. But if you're playing skill-heavy decks, Silas, Patrice, what other... not Darrell. Not Bob. Wendy? Nah. Anyway, I think it's hard to get rid of, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if it's that bad of a weakness to begin with, but it's hard to get rid of, I think. Okay, we did it. We did it. And it only took an hour. Oh my god. We have done it. Hooray. Okay. Well, we did it. I'm so proud of us. We have gone through every card. Gone through the whole box. Whew. I'm super excited to start playing with these cards. And just as a little sneak peek for those who have watched to the end of this video, I have a little bit of a preview for what we are going to be doing next. If you can see what that is. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. It really helps out the channel. This has been SuperFang99, signing off.